Hey everybody, this is Chris Estrada for Indy Racing Revolution on Most Valuable Network. As you can see, I'm in different surroundings now. I'm in my hotel room in Richmond, Virginia, as we get ready to go for the SunTrust Indy Challenge this weekend out at Richmond International Raceway. As I promised you guys, I was going to do my normal bean machine with the video blog in this case, so let's get to it. Hope it is a couple days late, but better late than never in my opinion. Iowa was one of the better races of the year. It was like a tale of two races, though. The first half didn't know who was going to get the win pretty much, and then the second half it went back to the status quo with Ganassi and Penske kind of dominating, and eventually went to Ganassi with driver Dario Franchitti. That being said, though, we got to see passing for the lead. Have not seen that in abundant numbers during the last few oval races, so I'm going to give that a +1. Tony Kanaan, another early exit out of Iowa. I think it's the same spot for the last 3 years in turn 2. I think he said it all when the ABC telecast caught him on the radio screaming, "Every time I can't get a break." It's just strange. It reminds me of kryptonite. It's not just Indianapolis now. It's Iowa now. That's otherwise causing some problems for this otherwise talented driver here. So we'll see if a win at Richmond could spring him up in the championship chase, although he did win last year, and it didn't do a whole lot of good for him in the title race as far as getting him back up in the towards the top. So I'm going to give a -2 on that for Tony. Next up, one of his teammates, Hideki Muto, finished third at Iowa. Very good result for him. A second podium finish in a row at Iowa for him. The only problem is if I know he's going to churn out top 5s, top 10s with a much quicker frequency in the second half of the season, I would give him a lot more beans than just the 1. I'm going to give him so +1 to Hideki Muto still. It's a very good result. It should give him some momentum heading into Richmond, another short track like Iowa. Basically, Iowa is a bigger size for Richmond, so we'll see if that translates from Iowa to Richmond for Hideki Muto in a good way. +3 goes to Panther and Brian Reinbold Racing. Panther at Dan Weldon was 4th, and over at DRR, Thomas Scheckter was 6th. I believe Mike Conway was 8th. I'm not too worried about what Dan and Panther can do on the second half of the season. I am a little worried about Brian Reinbold. If they can be able to replicate that on the road and street courses and also on the bigger ovals when we get back to, I believe, Kentucky. That'll be the next super speedway we have in August. So if I knew that they were going to be a little bit better during these next few races, then maybe I'd give them a few more beans. But in this case, +3, 1 bean for each driver. They definitely deserve some props after that. There's some really good racing, especially with Thomas Scheckter. I believe he's passed like 5-6 cars in the first lap. Fantastic drive from him. And also Mike Conway turned in a mature performance, so kudos to them. -1 to Scott Dixon and Elio Castroneves. I was kind of surprised at how dicey it got on lap 18. I'm not sure if they should have let it get to where it did. If you didn't see the telecast, you'll know then Castroneves ended up running into the back of Dixon, ended up destroying his front wing, and Dixon's, I believe, left rear tire went flat as a result. I think they kind of crossed the line between exciting and too dicey for an early going. It was on lap 18 of a 250 lap race, so I'm going to give them a -1 for the whole thing on that. And finally, just even score for Ryan Briscoe, another second place finish. I think it's his 3rd in a row. Still very confident that he's going to find his way into victory lane. I wrote about it on FoxSports.com this week. Definitely sounds like he said nothing's going wrong right now. They just know it's going to be a very tough competition. So these bridesmaid finishes, the role of bridesmaid that he's had to play in the last few weeks, haven't affected him one bit. So just I don't see no reason to give him a bean, but I don't see any reason to take away a bean. So even score for him. So as a result, that will be, if my math is correct, unlike the first time I took this video, that will be a +2. Obviously a much better race than we've seen on the ovals, and hopefully we'll get another good race, another good short track race in this Saturday night at Richmond for the SunTrust Indy Challenge. It's a 300 lap race. That will be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Versus Saturday night. You can follow along on mvn.com/Indy Racing Revolution. I'll be blogging during the weekend. Also, I will be Twittering during the weekend, or tweeting, or whatever the hell it's called now. It's at www.twitter.com/Estrada Riding. Stop by, follow my feed, and talk some smack if you want. I don't care. So yeah, +2 for Iowa in the bean machine. Don't quite know the season tally off the top of my head, but next time I will have an updated tally for you. Anyways, this is Chris Estrada for Indy Racing Revolution on Most Valuable Network. I hope you'll follow me throughout the weekend. Have a good day, guys.